This is a Galaxy Report for Friday, February 20th, 2005, or Sunday, February 20th, 2005. Welcome to the Galaxy Report. I'm Freak Asaka. Somewhere in the wonderful state of New York is Gyron, but unfortunately I have no idea of knowing where or what's going on. So in his place, Dukas decided to give me a hand and hop on, and he's my co-host tonight. Dukas, how you doing?
Doing good.
Glad to hear that. Unfortunately, you have no show notes. You don't know what we're about to do. We're just going to wing this, and maybe at some point, Gyron will show up.
Oh, hopefully.
I don't know. We were playing earlier. Actually, we played a couple times today, and he's like, "Oh, what time are we going on tonight?" I'm like, 12:15. He's like, "Okay, I'll be there." That's the last time I talked to him. That was about 9 o'clock. So between now and then, I have no idea what happened to him. And I'm getting feedback. I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear. I'm going to try shutting down the chat room.
Okay. Well, if you could just turn down the volume on your headphone, like your audio. I don't know if that'll help.
There, how's that?
Okay, I'm not hearing anything, so maybe
Okay,
that'll
good. Okay, good.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
I just shut off the feed.
Okay, that'll work too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What do we have this week? This was a pretty big week in SWG. Had lots of ups and downs. Wouldn't you say, Dukas?
Oh, yeah.
It was an emotional roller coaster. What I decided to do this week, normally we have a nice little bunch of show notes where we go over certain topics. I've decided to break it down day by day. That way we can kind of relive the roller coaster that was this week. Hopefully this will be an experience for everybody. So I'm going to jump right into it. First thing we had was Monday, and it was the producers' letters. The first one we had was from Julio, and for those of you that don't know, and how you don't know by now who Julio is, but Julio Torres is the producer of SWG for LucasArts. And when I was reading over his producer letter, I have to say that it's exactly what I would have expected from him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the corporate, this is kind of what we're going to do. We want to refine, fix, and improve the existing game. And he really didn't go into much detail. I wasn't really shocked at what he put in there. I mean, coming from him, this is exactly what I expected. What about you?
Yeah, exactly. It's just PR BS.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The one thing is, he's the one that mentioned he kind of went into some of the numbers. Let's see, about 200,000 players trying it to, the demo through date, from this day, 80% of the players are still in game that were playing before the NGE. Do you buy those numbers?
No.
What server do you play on? I forgot.
Mainly Wanderhome.
What's your experience with players on there? Like, are you seeing a lot of them? Are you seeing nobody?
I see a lot of new players and a lot of old players, and on the forums, there's people that have been there since beta. Since beta testing are still on there.
Well, what about the cities? What are you seeing when you're going to the different cities?
On average, about 10 people per city.
Okay, that's not too terribly bad. I've seen a little more than that today. I play on Bloodfin, and like Mos Eisley, Bestine had quite a few people. Kashyyyk, middle of the afternoon, late evening, seemed to be getting pretty busy. But I have no idea what the numbers are, and really at this point I don't care.
Yeah, I don't even buy that hack thing that they had done that was posted on.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how accurate that is either.
Well, we kind of got into that a little bit last week, and kind of glossed over it, and some people were like, well, they kind of, shut down, at one point after those numbers came out, no matter where you went, it said that all the servers were light. And then after one of the hot fixes, I believe it was on Wednesday or Thursday, they then like repopulated it so it said, oh, this one's medium, this one's heavy, this one's light. But the hack that the person had tried before wasn't working. So those numbers could be true, but the problem we run into is we have no idea at what time those were taken.
Right.
It's just some random hacker who said, oh yeah, I got these numbers at this time, but I can't really buy into that.
Yeah, exactly.
But back to the producer letter. Julio's, I wasn't upset at. I read it, okay, there's nothing to it, that's what I expected. I think what really got everybody upset was Rogue 5's producer letter.
Yeah.
And, that was nice of him to explain, like, his love for Star Wars, his collecting, but then he went into nothing about the game. He gave us absolutely nothing.
Right.
Now, I don't 100% blame him. I mean, yeah, he wrote it, but you have to believe that this went over Smeedley's desk, this went over Torres' desk, that they looked over this thing and said, okay, this is what we want you to put out there. But what I don't understand is I know they didn't hype up the producer letter. They kind of said, we're going to give a producer letter, kind of give our plans, and the community ran with it. And I didn't expect much, but I did not expect absolutely nothing from them. What were your thoughts when you first read Rogue 5's letter?
Like you said, there wasn't really nothing. I guess they were hoping the House of Chat comments, because wasn't he on that one too?
Yes.
Yeah, and actually that's when he reiterated where he said he backed away from the decay thing.
Yeah, I really have no idea what they were thinking when they released it. Why they decided to go this route to say, okay, we're going to release these producer letters. Here it is. I expected nothing, but this was, when you expect nothing and you are disappointed by a letter, that says a lot.
Well, plus the fact the community was really focused on these letters almost too much.
Yeah, they had to see the hype building. I mean, I will admit that the community hyped it up too much, but SOE really dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah. Well, they also picked it back up with the published plan.
Right, but that was kind of a result of this happening.
Yes.
The complete, what was it, anarchy of the boards for a little while.
Oh yeah.
I know. I was leaving work when I checked real quick and I saw, oh look, they released the producers' letters, and I read them real quick. I'm like, damn, they told us absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got home and it's like all hell was breaking loose, just everywhere. People posting, everyone was mad. Everyone in half their guild was quitting the game.
Everyone in half their guild has been quitting the game since the NG came out.
Well, you know what I like about that is, well, if half your guild is upset and quitting over something, then the other half of your guild actually likes it, so SOE screwed either way.
Yeah.
If they make your half of the guild happy, the other half of the guild is screwed.
Mm-hmm. Just BS is what that is.
There's really not much we can talk about in these letters except, to express our disappointment in these.
Yeah.
Smeedley was nice enough to hop on afterwards on Monday evening and kind of give a response of, oh shit, we screwed up.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was very brave of him to do that and to give out his email address.
Yeah, and I noticed that he was bouncing around a couple of different of the fan forums. He didn't stop by ours, but which he's more than welcome to. Mm-hmm. We'll even register his name for him, that way nobody else can get it. But I don't know what to say. It's like, I mean, he's just as much to blame over the producers' letters as Torres and Rogue 5 are, considering that not Torres is so much, but Rogue 5's, that he approved that. He's the one that said, yeah, that's good to go. So everyone who's like treating him as the hero for, jumping in at the last minute, saying, oh, okay, here, we'll give you what you want. I really think they should have been able to fill out the community a lot better beforehand.
they're still learning how to do that. They've ignored it for so long. They're only now starting to learn how to do that.
Well, they used to listen to the community. That's why the game got turned into such a debacle at the end of the, pre-CU status where, they'd gone through so much nerfing, listening to like the people crying on the forums. But I don't know, like after Monday, I was extremely upset with the game. I tried Publish 27 at Test Center. I was really looking forward to everything going, coming possibly this week or next week. Wasn't, that into the producer letters, but man, after they hit, I was in a bad mood towards the game. Now you're pretty much a pure crafter, aren't you?
Yeah. Even though right now I got a spy who on Wander Home as my second slot to do the collecting and everything. Well, my crafter sits in his house.
So we don't have an entertainer to see how they felt about this one.
No. I've been checking out the forums, the entertainer forums, just to get a feel what's going on there, and it's pretty quiet right now.
They're kind of just in the wait and see mode.
Yes, a lot of them are in wait and see mode.
That's good. You know, you really can't. You don't want to complain too much before you know all the details. Mm-hmm. But I think we're kind of jumping ahead to some of the stuff that was released. I believe it's on Tuesday. So actually, why don't we just hop right to that? We kind of went over our disappointment with Monday and what was the producer letters. Mm-hmm. So Tuesday, Rogue 5 decided to respond to what happened on Monday. He kind of got on here. Clearly, the producer letter that I posted yesterday hit a nerve with our core community. Mm-hmm. And they decided to explain to us kind of that they're going to give us more detail what's going on, the ETA of Publish 27, which I want to know where the breakdown in communication was with Torres saying that the Publish 27 was going to go live on Tuesday. And then Rogue 5's like, no, we're hoping sometime this week, but it's not Tuesday. Which I have no idea what happened there. You'd think there'd be, someone picked up a phone or email somebody.
Go
ahead.
Office work BS.
Yeah. We've all been there, so you can't totally blame them, but if you're going to get that stuff out, you would know.
Yeah.
Because Rogue 5's the head developer, isn't he?
Yeah, ever since I caught a little tidbit where they said that they replaced the entire team down in Austin, Texas.
Ooh.
So that probably has a little bit to do with the confusion that's going on now. If that's true.
Yeah. It could just be something that, there's so many little things that, you can miss something big in one of these announcements and you can make something out of nothing. And if we happen to, miss something in one of these, as we're going through these things, feel free to hop in and tell us. Send something to Solon and he'll shoot me a message. Mm-hmm. That way, we know we cover, absolutely everything. But it looks like Rogue 5 understood that, everyone was pissed. Actually, I think all of us, there must have been some cancellations that happened. Because I think that's the only thing that could get them, really, alert them to what's going on. Because I have a feeling that they don't totally listen to everything that's on the forums. Let's see trying to go over real quick. Oh, go ahead.
Well, maybe it was maybe cancellations as well as what is it? Community elders, with Darth, your guest last week.
Darth Sushi?
Darth Sushi is. Maybe it was a combination of those. There was a big panic session on that forum they go to.
It could have been. But of course, after talking to some of them, I don't know if the devs really, I think they listen to what they say, but I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say on that one. Mm-hmm. But Rogue 5 goes on to explain, he mentions the plans for traders and entertainers, which seem to have been pushed back a bit. I mean, entertainers are getting theirs with 28. We find out later in the week that traders get bumped back a bit, but we'll get into that in a little while. He does mention the next expansion, I'm not surprised at that. I'm sure that's something that they've been working on ever since Trials of Obi-Wan was released. And I'm sure they probably have the next couple of expansions planned, too.
Yeah. I would be surprised if they didn't.
I just hope the next one they release, they make it, if it's a digital download, it's a little bit more reasonably priced.
Yeah.
Give it to me for $19.99 instead of $30. But around E3, we'll find out more about that. So, we have till May.
Yeah.
They'll start giving us more information on that. And then he just goes on to explain that they're pretty much sorry and that they want to deliver the best online Star Wars game experience that exceeds your expectations. And I was really happy they didn't use a lot of Star Warsy and iconic comments. That's one thing is, I'm someone who, I don't mind the NGE that much.
Yeah.
But the Star Warsy and iconic comments that were coming out like every 5 minutes from SOE, they were driving me absolutely crazy.
Same here.
Okay. So we got through Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And Wednesday, Publish 27 goes live. What are your thoughts on Publish 27 as a whole?
Well, I just went on it on the test center when it was on the test center. And I thought it was alright.
Did you mess around with the heavy weapons, or?
What I could. Like I said, I got a spy, and he can only use 2 of them.
Did you try them on test center at all?
Yeah, I tried them on test center, and I tried the traps are fun. I tried out, there was a bunch of traps that I could use, and I tried out those.
See, I haven't got into those yet.
They're fun.
But 27, I have to admit, it's one of the more refined publishes they've given us in a while.
Yeah.
I can't get my damn Pepsi open. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
There we go.
All right.
That's what's going to keep me awake through this.
I'm hoping to try some of the new quests now that they've fixed
the fixed
them,
ones.
Hopefully.
Knock on wood.
Exactly. Here's a hot fix for the fix.
Yeah. I've been playing with Gyron. Gyron's a commando. I'm a spy. And he's been going around with his lava cannon, just absolutely wasting everything around him.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of lava cannon go off on Wanderhome, too.
And it's nice. The only problem I have with it is, as a spy, I lose my guy. Like, especially with Gyron, he tries to be an ass because I'm trying to steal from them. So he'll run around to make it so, like, every time I try to steal from them, it's like, you are not in range, and I use my steal movement, and I have to wait for the timer to go down. But, so he's running around with them, and I'm losing them, as, there's just bursts of things everywhere, and I don't know if he's just being an ass, because, like, the first time we played, he's like, every time he got mad at me, like, if I looted something before him, he's like, I'm gonna grief you, and, like, I'm running around, he's just, like, blowing up everything around me. But it just seemed a little hard in combat to, keep your tracks on who you are actually trying to hit through all the blasts. But published gifts, we got the nickel-plated launcher pistol and the concentrated back-to-tank. I haven't even used my back-to-tank yet.
Neither have I. My nickel-plated launcher pistol went right up on the wall.
Oh, can they give us a lamer, like... oh, look, little fireworks. Like nothing. There wasn't even. There's not even an explosion. If there's like an explosion and sparks, it's just like sparks. It's like I'm shooting a sparkler at someone.
Hey, at least it's not a hologram.
That'd be fun though. You shoot a hologram at someone and the hologram shoots at them. I'm surprised they haven't come up with that.
Kind of like what was on. Oh god, what was that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
Total Recall. Yes. Where there you are, and oh, it's not really me. Ha 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 ha. My favorite part was when like all the bad guys surround they think it's him, but it's really a hologram. And they start shooting each other. It's like even if that was a real person, they would have killed each other.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's an Arnold movie.
But flamethrower, we were able to go out. We lit some Ewoks on fire. We were quite happy about that.
Oh yeah, flamethrower was fun.
I'm happy. Go ahead.
I like how it uses the action quickly, considering how powerful it actually is.
I've noticed a bit of a bug with that.
What's that?
Where I was using the flamethrower, like where lightning walks on fire, and my action would start going down. I would stop, and as soon as my action started going up, I started using it again. My action would finish going up, and I wouldn't use any more action.
Ooh, I gotta remember that.
I tried it again today. I couldn't get it to work today. Like, it was Thursday night. I was doing it without a problem, so I don't know if they, like, hot-fixed it. I haven't looked over all the hot-fix notes for what happened on Friday, but that's just something I noticed on Thursday.
Could have been a silent fix.
It makes sense if they'd fix that.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Gyron's going to show up. Oh, he's missing out. Let's see. The Jedi, of course, got their enhancements.
Yeah.
We've kind of gone over all those before. Stealth enhancements and espionage gadgets. The stealth I'm a little disappointed in the fact that when I use it, because I'm a level 90 spy.
Yeah.
I had no camo gear on, and I really didn't think that it was taking away from my action fast enough. Now that may seem crazy for, a spy to be complaining about. I'm not really complaining. It would just seem that it should be taking more action from me.
Yeah, it's just when I did the I'm a level 88 on Test Center, and when I was doing it, it was replacing it as fast as it was taking it away.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. It's like I'd get a chunk would just go bloop, and then I'd regen almost all of it, and like I could see like a little bit, like I don't know, maybe like 50 action a tick, which is really nothing.
Yeah,
is what I would really end up losing, and I could have stayed stealth for quite a while. I was thinking more along the lines of my stealth without any camo gear might work maybe as good as this, last as long as the stealth before.
I thought it was supposed to be, like, permanent till we fired a gun or something. That's the impression I had gotten on it.
Well, it was, but the way they made it sound, it was going to use your action, but with the right combination of, like, stamina and camouflage, you'd be able to stay invisible permanently. And until you fired a weapon.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just seemed like if they were going to take that route, then I should have been losing my action more quickly, or whatever the proper way to say that is. I have no clue, but it should have just been happening faster.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing. I haven't messed around with traps much. The spy traps. I did find Gyron found a piece of camo gear for me. So I was able to get that today on the basement of the Riot Trails. In case anyone's looking, I got a plus 20 camo pair of pants. I also heard they're dropping on the Avatar if you could get there, which is a place that we tried to go to today when we could not get there. We got there, we couldn't land. So I posted on the forums, and it seems like that's a bug that a lot of people are running into, and that possibly there might be a timer put on it now too.
Wouldn't surprise me now if it's one of the only places it's dropping. People are going to be flocking to that place.
Yeah, the Corvette, Deathwatch Bunker, the basement of the Riot Trails, and the Avatar. I heard are the places really dropping the camo gear right now.
Yeah, right now my spy is level 19, so that's out of his league.
Yeah, come back in like a year and a half when you make it to 90. Are you taking your time with your guy, or?
Pretty much, yeah.
Going through all the legacy quests?
Not really. I don't like the I honestly do not like the legacy quests.
Really?
Yeah, I stopped with the Watto one, and it was annoying the hell out of me.
And I don't have the patience to do those. Even like when I played World of Warcraft, which you could get a lot done. You could get a lot of stuff just by running missions. I got bored with a lot of them, where it's like go out and get like 5 tiger claws. You get 5 tiger claws, come back, go out and get 5 tiger pelts. And you're just running back and forth, and that's what it seems like a lot of it. But I think almost any MMO that's what the beginning quests are like.
Yeah.
Just so you can get a feel for the creatures in the area.
And I just get the feeling that they're rewarding you too much for the levels that they are. Like 3,000-4,000 experience points, 5,000 credits for a level 1 quest.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know, everyone's already throwing a fit over like how slow it is to level up.
Yeah.
Even though it's not, but compared to the old system, yes.
Mhm.
But not. I don't know. The one thing that I saw in the published notes that I really didn't notice before, and maybe I mentioned it on the show and I just like totally forgot about it, was the smuggler getting the camouflage ally move. That seemed like a nice thing to give the smugglers. You can camouflage. Let's see. The ability allows the smuggler to camouflage friends and teammates. Once allies have been camouflaged, moving or starting combat will break the ability. But it's a nice little thing where you can like break the aggro and get a heal in. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I thought the way they make it sound here that they could do multiple, like say like their whole group except for them. But maybe I saw it wrong, but I think it's only like one person. Like you can only help one friend. And if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. I don't know the exact.
Yeah, I don't have it up right now myself, so I don't remember that part, fortunately.
The Jedi got their Force cloak, so they're probably not the pre-NGE Jedi aren't happy with it, and the respec Jedi probably are, so who knows?
Pre-NGE Jedi are not going to be happy till Jedi is taken off as starters.
Well, you're not really a Jedi right at starters. You get like a robe, but basically what you do, run around with a pole arm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know when you get your lightsaber. I've never played a Jedi in the game.
Neither have I.
Maybe one day I will, just for the heck of it. They have all the detect the hidden, traps, players, all that's added in with Publish 27.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of messed around with that guy when put down a mine, and I was able to detect it and it set it off. Like I said, traps I haven't messed with much. Mm-hmm. Actually, I haven't messed with at all. Of course, my flashbang, I guess, says it's a trap, but
that doesn't really do much. I guess it's like a confusion thing.
Well,
my favorite.
It does reduce their stats.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I've noticed in a lot of the higher levels, if you hit them with that, you will do more damage to them.
Okay.
Okay. Just 1 second.
Alright.
Okay. It's the fun part about doing the show live, you just go with whatever happens. And have you messed around with the electro binoculars, motion sensors, tracking beacons, anything like that?
No, I haven't had a chance to.
Well, this is where Gyron would usually come in and say, "Hey, I've done that." But fixed some badges, did a lot of stuff to combat. I'm not even going to go through all that. They removed the 25-point skill modifier cap for Constitution, Stamina, Luck, Strength, Precision, and Agility. That's good because when things are dropping plus 20 gear, it makes no sense to have a plus 25 cap.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's just a setup for when they do the armor drops, the loot armor drops.
Yeah. How do you think that's going to be different from what's going on now, with what's dropping now?
Not much. It's going to kill us, the crafters, even more so.
Well, the stuff's already dropping with like plus 20, like armor.
I know. I haven't seen any armor drops, but myself.
Oh, I've seen tons of them.
Really?
Yeah.
They must be higher level than what I'm going for then.
Yeah, I was getting stuff off of, so far I've been getting it off of Night Sisters. One of the groups of guys in the hunting grounds we were getting stuff off of. Mm-hmm. The guys at the basement of the riot trails. The guys in the hunting grounds were dropping it like crazy.
Mm.
I mean, I was just pulling, plus 18 of, everything. The trade negotiation I'm happy to see back in place. That made me happy.
Yeah, and I first day I went on, I think it was like Wednesday. No, it was Thursday I went on. And I pulled out my swoop bike. I'm tempted to go on another swoop track to see how that goes.
Oh, with the speed enhancements to the vehicles.
Speed enhancements. I like the speed enhancements.
You know, I was looking at it, and it makes me think back to when like swoops and everything were first put into the game. I swear they are they're the same speed as when they were first put into the game.
Yeah, I think so, because I was playing on a friend's account when vehicles went live.
And I just remember how fast they were. I remember Gyron zipping over water and just being like, wow, you know, I can't believe how fast it is. Mm-hmm. And even, you know, recently I've been watching, it's like, they're so slow. I remember they changed them a bit because they added like the force vehicle control when they added the village in Publish 9. So I think they slowed them down at that point. I don't know if they slowed them down before. Uh-oh.
What?
Do believe the chat room is down.
No,
Are you in there?
Yeah, I'm on there right now. It's popping up.
Okay.
You just left.
I just hit my refresh. But yeah, I just got a note from Solon that says it's down. Oh yeah, I can't connect to it.
Oh.
Well that kind of... There goes the Q&A for now. Let me pull my notes. Where was I? I gotta pull that back up. Okay. The only thing I don't like about the terrain negotiation, and really it's not just the terrain negotiation, it's about the overall speed of combat, is I would like to see the speed of combat slow down.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind having to target and shoot at something, but it's so hard, like, when something's moving around, to be able to hit it, because they take like just like a certain swerve, and it's just too hard to keep up with them.
Yeah, especially with the terrain. I've noticed I've had a hard time when they go down into a valley. All of a sudden, you can't hit target message comes up.
And like if there's like a lot of like, even not like really bad terrain, just like a little hilly. It's like some slight inclines and lots of like grass or something. It just seems like just if they would slow it down maybe like 10-15%, you know, have it faster than it was before, but just a little bit easier to continue targeting something. Yeah. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. Wasn't there a fix where they kept the characters from merging with the NPCs merging with the player characters?
Like they were keeping it from, like, what was happening?
Oh god, how can I know this is on the test center today. I was on Endor shooting up Ewoks. They were literally underneath me. I had to go to first person shooter view just to hit them.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought they had fixed that.
I've noticed that with smaller creatures, it can be hard sometimes to get a good lock on them.
Yeah, because they were literally underneath my feet.
I'm happy with the change to the damage numbers going over the creatures. It's nice to actually be, you know, seeing how much damage you are doing to something.
Oh yeah, that's why I love carbons. It's just like one continuous stream of numbers coming up.
You know, it's nice when you're using a rifle and you see like 1,500. But when you have that carbine, it's just like. You know, since they got rid of the reload animation too.
I kind of like the reload.
It was an okay feature, but I think it was just too buggy. I think it was causing too many problems.
Yeah.
I mean,
I always put it as I must reload before I'm dead.
Otherwise, I'll reload after I'm dead.
I was kind of I thought it was funny. I didn't really mind that part.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but of course now that kind of gives pistols, because pistols' big thing where they were faster than carbines and or the whole reload thing, the way it affected them. But without that in there, the carbines actually, you know, it makes more sense to use the carbine. I believe it's just as fast as a pistol. And now there's no reload animation to slow it down at all.
But there's still the reload going on, because I don't click the button, I just hold it down.
Right.
And I've noticed there's like a 1 second delay. So the reload is still happening.
Well, they
it's
said
just
they
without
completely.
the animation.
Well, they said they completely removed reload, because I remember there was a post by one of the developers saying that they're going to have to figure something. They're going to have to put something else in place, because basically that was the thing about pistols was the reload. I believe the carbine, either you had to reload more often or it took longer than the pistol. So without it in there, it's like basically you're firing at the same rate, but the carbine does more damage. And without the reload, it makes more sense you use the carbine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll have to peek into that one a little bit. They just made some more changes to little combat fixes here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Just kind of flip it through real quick. They fixed the thing with earning combat experience or ground combat experience in space after becoming a master pilot.
Yeah.
And characters will no longer I can't talk. Will no longer gain ground experience in space once you've reached level 90.
Yeah. Didn't know.
I don't know.
How that.
I'm not a big space guy, so.
Yeah. I don't know what Drywan would say to that one either. I haven't gotten up that far yet.
We'll have to.
Of course, I really wish they would give crafters space XP.
That would be nice, especially after the graphical fix this week where they fixed the last few levels of crafter.
Mm-hmm.
So it pushed me back. What was I, about a third of the way through the third branch, and now I'm 2/3 of the way through the second branch, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Since I haven't played my crafter in a while, so. See, they fixed a lot of quests. You were looking forward to getting into these. A lot of legacy quest issues.
Looks like it.
The loot is back. I'm very happy about that.
I hate loot.
Really?
I hate it.
Because you're a crafter, you hate loot.
Crafter and creature loot. I hate it with a passion.
Like, I don't like creatures dropping items like guns and armor, but
yeah.
I don't have much of a problem with. I can see where you as a crafter would like to be able to maybe like specialize in picking like certain items off a creature.
Yeah, because they had. I don't know if you remember, but they had the same problem before the CU with the creatures dropping like stems and pistols and stuff. That's why they put the radial loot system in where you just choose bone, hide, or meat. That's why they did that. And then they take it away and they have the same problem they did before.
I don't know if they actually consider it a problem or if they really think that the creature should be dropping that stuff. That's interesting. But you had mentioned something about people gouging crafters for like hides and bone.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah.
It's not really. I think it's more of a problem with the people just being a-holes than it is them. I mean, you've heard. I don't know if you've heard me talk before about my one day running around the Blue Leaf Temple on Yavin.
Yeah.
But I was just killing the Clicknicks, and I had like over 100K in hide.
Yeah.
Just killing them. I had like my loot macro running, just so I'd automatically get the stuff off of them. And I had, it seems like if people just did that, there'd be plenty of hide to go around.
Yeah, the problem is it's not a lot of times it's not dropping. You get these stupid stems and stuff that I don't even use them. I just send them to the fence.
Yeah. I use them when they're in my inventory. Like if I forget to, like I'm running around, I was like, oh yeah, I'll throw this on. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the stuff is there. I just think they're gouging people.
They are, just like you said, just to be jerks.
Exactly. But I'm happy. I haven't had a chance to mess with it. I got my orange rug loot kit, but I haven't gone searching for any of the pieces to it. But that's something that I didn't get into before I quit the game the first time, and never really got into when I got back. But
yeah, I deleted my old character, and he was a master trader. When the NGE came on, I got so sick of it, I just deleted him.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm starting fresh.
Let's see. Trying to see what else there is real quick. Bounty Hunters got a couple of tweaks. Commandos, of course, they're heavy weapons. Their grenades work at 30 meters. That's a plus.
Yeah, I started a Bounty Hunter on another one when the first Bounty Hunter revamp happened. And it's alright. Bounty Hunters are fun.
You don't mind that one?
Huh?
You don't mind Bounty Hunter?
No, I don't mind Bounty Hunter.
You just start a character on Bloodfin.
Actually, that's where he is.
Really?
Yeah, I got a Dukas Waving Moon Bounty Hunter on Bloodfin. He's only 18 level 18 right now.
Okay. Well, I'll have to put you on my friends list. Let's see. Jedi, they got their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Saber block will no longer block attacks from mines, grenades, and bombs. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this stuff we've already gone over. The throw pillows from the Qui-Gon Dar cube, whatever, can be crafted. I know you were looking forward to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I never bought the expansion.
Oh.
And I never will. No. It holds. I actually sent a email before to Smeed saying, "Why should I even bother with the expansion if I don't want to be a Jedi?" Because back then, that's all it looked like it was, and even now, after the fiasco, no.
Well, you're only about 3 months away from getting it for free, so there's no point in buying it now.
Yeah, pretty much.
My big thing, the domestic traders will now be granted the schematic for the armor and crafting tool. That kind of freaked me out when I first was trying to level up my domestics trader, and I had to go buy an armor and crafting tool. Oh, sound, some space fixes, UI, went over the vehicles, and some world changes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I like the I have a Nvidia graphics card, and I definitely noticed a change.
Big improvement?
Yeah, a very big improvement.
I have a ATI, so doesn't help me any. Okay, what's the next part that happens? We're still on Wednesday.
Okay.
And after the published 25 or 27 goes live, Rogue 5 gave us a preview of the published 28 plan. Here we got into armor enhancements. Yes, I'm on the right thing. Okay, just had to make sure my link worked. They're removing the armor certifications for all armor-wearing classes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like this.
Same as it was before. Everyone's gonna be running around in composite armor.
Yeah, I wanted them to come up with a system, and they removed all hindrances.
Yeah, except for the Mandalorian armor.
Yeah, the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Master Bounty Hunters and Master Commandos will be able to wear that.
Yeah.
And Jedi will not be able to wear armor.
Well, they shouldn't. Honestly, I don't think they should. They didn't in the movies.
They didn't anywhere. And who would want to see a bunch of Jedi running around with lightsabers? If you want to look at some of the early Star Wars art, you can see some stormtroopers with lightsabers.
Yeah.
Like some of the early, board art, all that stuff. Whatever I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the right before Star Wars came out, all the production posters they put out.
Yeah. But I was hoping they would put something more in place where, the better the armor, the higher level, the better the protection, the higher hindrance on your movement it would be. So you would have to decide, okay, say a commando could wear a higher armor where he's standing back and just blasting stuff from a distance, whereas a spy or, a smuggler would want armor for protection, but they wouldn't want to hinder their movement too much.
Right. Which is probably why they took out all armor hindrance, which I hate.
Yeah, I thought they should have gone more, open it up so anybody can wear any kind of armor.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been a good way too to help crafters where if, make them experiment on those fields where, okay, do I want to put more points into making it, less of a hindrance, or do I want to put those points into, better protection.
Right.
Instead, they just wipe off all the, open up the armor certifications, wipe off all hindrance, and everyone's just going to be wearing composite again.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, there's still the experimentation cap on it, too. Or as far as I know, it is.
So it just gets to a certain level and
that's it.
Nothing more?
Nothing more.
Armor loot drops. We will be adding more armor loot drops to the game. The power of the armor that can be looted will be proportional to the combat level of the mob.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I already say that. I don't like that.
They can go to hell.
Yeah.
It says they'll use a wide variety of stats and protections. They will be adding a larger variety of clothing armor for all players through loot drops. Including Jedi exclusive clothing. We'll have to wait and see how some of the reverse engineering ideas go with the trader.
I kind of like how they're putting it, and because
don't give away your thoughts yet.
What?
Don't give away your thoughts yet.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We'll make people tune in later.
Okay.
Okay, PvP enhancements. This caused quite a stir. The one thing I like is the command that will allow people to go from combatant to special forces. 30 seconds seems like a decent timer. It's kind of like in WoW, you type /PvP and you can attack somebody.
Okay.
I didn't like having to hunt down a faction recruiter or, it makes it a lot easier where people don't have to, if someone's raiding your town and they have the faction recruiter surrounded, you're pretty much SOL.
A lot about that. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that.
Let's see. If you are killed in PvP combat by another player, they will be rewarded one of your items chosen at random. This could be either an equipped item or an item in your inventory. No drop, bio-linked, and no trade items will be exempt from this.
Which is fair. I mean, as long as they keep like you said, the no trade, the no drop items out of it.
Well, the one thing that worried some people, if you look down a little bit further, they said that they will be removing the no drop, no trade, and bio-link items off a wide variety of items.
I think they mean like the starter pistols, the starter stuff that no one uses anymore and they can't do nothing with.
Yeah, so these will be primarily quest reward items.
Yeah.
Now, everyone is throwing a fit over the PvP combat changes that they propose. Like, that one, and after you are killed, you have the option of placing a bounty on your attacker. This will deduct a specified amount from your bank. You can combine it with, it's going to combine with other people's. I think in the House of Commons chat, they said that was going to cap at like 2 billion, all the combined. So if you have like Johnny Asshole who's uber awesome at PvP, everyone gets pissed at him and puts like a random, a bounty on him. He'll have some people hunting him down. I don't know what the uproar is. I mean, what in this game is so special that you can't go without losing? I think the only thing that they could possibly need to add would give you the option to say insure 2 to 3 items in your inventory. Cap it. So like it's 2 to 3 items, you're insuring them so you can use them. And if you get killed, those items cannot be chosen.
Right. A lot of people are just griefing about their armor by the sounds of it.
But what's so special? There's nothing special about their armor.
Right. There isn't. Armor in Jedi seems to be the biggest complaints about that new thing. Personally, I like the bounty thing. It brings back the risk of dying. And hopefully they'll do it with player versus environment too.
It makes PvP interesting, and I'm not a big PvPer, but I'll PvP more under that system. So what? I lose an item that I can't go. What am I going to lose that I can't loot off of something else at this point? Right.
I mean, that's making me interested in PvP, and I don't do PvP at all.
Just to run around and, they're like, well, what's the reward? You shouldn't punish people just for dying. What's the reward? Well, the reward is if you win, you get something. So now there's a point of going out there. So someone has an uber awesome something, you can kill them and take it. And it's just a random item. You don't know what you're going to lose. I don't know. It's really pissing me off, and I hope they come up with a better way to find out what the players want than just putting a poll on the forums. And anybody who listens to this, I know a lot of people, I post on the forum, so a lot of people hear about it that way. But, if you hear about this through a friend or something, make sure you go to the forums and vote. That way your voice is heard. Because the way it's looking now, they put up the post of what kind of death penalty they should be. And everyone's saying, no penalty. When I'm killed, death is the only inconvenience. That's the biggest thing. And then the next one is lose credits. Who cares if you lose credits? What is credits in this game anymore?
That's why they voted for that, because they don't care. They just care about their items. What they think is upper armor that they've been working for. But
the only thing I could understand is you wouldn't want to lose like your Mandalorian armor, but more than likely that's still going to be. I have a feeling you're not going to have a risk of losing your Mandalorian armor.
Yeah, you're not. They're not going to take that off the no trade thing.
But I just want to make sure everyone gets out there and gets their voice heard, because the forum people tend to, it seems like no matter what ideas are thrown out there, just throwing fits over everything.
Yeah.
This is an idea. Hey, here's some PvP enhancements. Throwing a fit. They wouldn't have said anything. What are you going to do to enhance PvP?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
They're going to throw a fit no matter what, though.
It just drives me crazy.
Of course, I found it interesting. One of the other polls they have is favorite profession. And trader, it used to be the architect shipwright is number one, almost.
Really?
Next to Jedi.
Well, no, that's just in the trader group, isn't it?
If I remember correctly, they listed all of them, I think.
Because if you look at all the professions, it shows like Jedi's at 35%.
Yeah.
Traders at traders at 17, so that would be all four combined.
Okay.
And then 37% of that 17% are the structures shipwright.
Yeah. I was just on the forums a little while ago for the show, and I just saw the vote results, because I've already voted, and it was trader structures.
It's good to see there's that many traders still in game.
We're a pretty tough group. Cut it. Sorry.
What the hell is that?
Phone.
Didn't this happen last time you were on?
Yeah, it's the same person too, because only one person has the guts to call me this late in the morning.
Oh man. I'm gonna go through the rest of Rogue 5 stuff.
Okay.
The bounty hunter system, I'm not exactly sure how the new bounty system works. It seems like there's no droids involved in it anymore. You just / bounty check.
There's a bit hot, what you put like on the old hotfix buttons. It's just like one of those things. It's a bounty check. And I had tried it before with some NPCs and didn't get anything. But you have to click on that person or NPC on that person to see if it happens, and it has a 5-minute warm-up.
Yeah.
Some extremely long warm-up.
I don't know why they took the droids out for that. Or maybe they could just make one droid that, because you don't want to inconvenience people by having to make them continuously go back and buy stuff from a trader. So make it so a droid engineer can make a droid that you send out and the droid returns back to you and gives you the information.
Well, apparently it looks like it's a mistake because they're bringing them back. Which I know I'm getting ahead right now, but...
But that's the bounty hunter system that they kind of talked about. Mentioned removing the no trade, no drop on a bunch of items, which I don't have a big problem with BioLink no trade and no drop. But it's just me, and it makes me those items give me a great idea for the smuggler enhancements, and you should make it so a smuggler can get rid of that.
Yeah.
Like the BioLink.
Because right now, a lot of that no trade stuff I don't even use. It's just taking up space in my
Jedi robes. If you kill anything, Jedi robes.
Oh God! Thank God I haven't seen any of those drops.
You haven't seen any of them?
No.
Lucky bastard.
Of course, I'm only hitting level 20s right now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that drove me crazy when they borked loot, and I went back to the Night Sisters because I was like farming all sorts of armor off them, and all of a sudden it's like Jedi robe, Jedi robe, Jedi robe. Shit.
Well, I mentioned this in your forums. They should do it like how they have in this one game I play, Morrowind. What you see is what you loot. If the person coming at you with a lightsaber, that's what you're going to loot. If they're wearing short hot pants and sandals, that's what you're going to loot. Not this BS stuff.
Morrowind, I agree with your idea, but I think it should limit the amount of items you can choose off of that creature. Because could you imagine it? You know, every creature that's killed, you get like a list of their entire clothing, their weapon, credits, anything else they have on them, and you have to go through and pick. Limited to like 2 or 3 things on them.
Yeah.
And just like pop it up, and it's like, okay, do I want this? Do I want this weapon? Do I want this piece of armor or whatever?
Well, actually, it's like I said, when I played on Morrowind, what I usually do is like pick it all up, because all it does is just says choose all or dispose of corpse. Dispose of corpse, you get all the items. I just go to a shop owner, sell him the stuff that I don't want.
Oh, you did the crab bug thing, didn't you? My buddy played that game forever, and like there's a crab in there, and you could like do some sort of
a crab in some kind of niche, goblin type thing. Yeah, I never even seen those guys. I just go to like the big city that's in there, Vivek, and sell all my stuff there.
Getting ready for the 4th one coming out.
Oh yes, I can't wait.
Still next month?
I hope so. I just got a letter from them over my email. I haven't really looked at it yet because I've been working so much.
I'll get it for the 360, but we're kind of getting off topic. Your poem is There He Is Again.
She.
Well, it's okay if a girl calls you. Except when they call you this late, that means they're your friend.
Oh yeah, she's definitely a friend. She's not even in the same state as me.
Okay. Entertainer editions. We kind of talked about this. They're going to give combat to entertainers.
It's a lot of people are saying it's going to be gimped. I don't think so, because they're saying. I think it was Rogue 5 that was saying that they're going to be on par with, like a Master Entertainer is going to be on par with a Combat Level 90.
Well, no, this leads us into the next thing, which is the House of Commons chat.
Yeah.
And because it's a question I actually asked in the House of Commons chat.
Yeah.
Which was, is a level 90, because they said they were going to be creature level 90s. And my question was, will they be comparable to, say, a creature level 90 combat character? And they said no. And if I can find the exact answer here, which you think I'd remember because I asked the question. The entertainers have just enough combat prowess to complete quests. They're not as effective in combat as the combat professions such as Jedi, bounty hunters, commandos, and so on.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they'll have enough where they can be in a group and go out and do something. But like PvP one-on-one, any of the other, classes will just waste them.
Which is, in a way, it should be like that.
Well, yeah, because you couldn't give them all the combat of, say, a bounty hunter or a commando and entertainer skills. I want them to bring back camp kits and give them some buffs. And, then, they have some of their combat skills. They come out in a group, you're going to want them out there.
Yeah.
Say like certain professions, say like officer and maybe smuggler can come have camp kits. They put those up. They buff you there and they go out and help you kill something.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense for them to be out there with you. But of course I don't know why they would want to go out and do a lot of that combat when all they're going to get is combat related items. Nothing.
Well, they're just doing that so the entertainers can have the people who play just their entertainer can do the quests.
It seems like a temporary fix. Like they really don't know what direction to take them in.
Yeah.
Because really, unless you bring back battle fatigue, what does an entertainer have to offer?
Right. I mean, it's just a social. It's just like they say it's a social profession, but more than half the time, the entertainer's AFK.
Yeah, I don't know where they really want to go with the entertainer profession. I don't think they do either, and I think that's why they're giving the combat skills.
Right. Same thing with crafters. They don't really know where they want to go with it.
Well, it seems like they have a little more of a clear-cut idea, especially with what they mentioned in the published plan on Friday.
Yeah.
But were you able to read through the House of Common Chat's notes?
I glanced through it a lot. I glanced through it, so I got a pretty good idea what was going on with that.
I'm trying to remember. I was just busy complaining because I couldn't get any of my questions read for the longest time. I had to vent.
Mm-hmm.
But they just kind of gave us a preview of what to expect. In here they said they're not bringing back decay, battle fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
But of course they came back and said that they're bringing back item decay.
Yeah. So maybe they'll bring back battle fatigue. Who knows?
Really, I think at this point that's all you have to do. If you brought back battle fatigue and gave them 5 songs,
oh yeah,
entertainers would be happy.
Honestly, you wouldn't even have to give them 5 songs because I played an entertainer a while back, for a while, and each song only has 9 notes. Honestly, that's all it is. If they were to give you an entire song, you would see the AFK go away.
Well, I saw a post where everybody was throwing a fit because Torres said that they're back in, I believe, June or July of last year, said there was 10 new entertainer songs, and that we've never seen them. How come we can't get more songs? How come we can't get more songs?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to give them the 5 new songs. Battle Fatigue, 5 songs. There's your entertainer revamp.
There you go.
I should be in charge. They want to try to get Published 28 out by mid-March. So we'll probably see it at the beginning of April.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't mind. Published 27 was extremely well put together. Yes, there were some bugs, the whole white hair thing.
Yeah.
Heavy weapons in a cantina.
And I saw one guy actually posted a video of his character gliding along like a mannequin, arms out stiff and legs together.
Yeah, that happened to me on Test Center.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny because I really couldn't move.
Yeah.
When it happened to me on Test Center, all I could do, I couldn't move forward, I could inch back, and I could move sideways. That's it.
Well, I heard the temporary fix for that is to get on your vehicle.
Really?
Yeah.
I just logged off and logged back in.
Or you can do that too. I've noticed there is another small bug. I don't know if it's if anyone else has affected it, but when I went to decorate one of my houses, I couldn't do the up function.
Really?
Yeah, I could click on it, do the radio, hit up. It would go up like 1 or 2 inch spots, but to do up 30, it wouldn't do it. All the other directions worked though.
I'll have to give that a try.
I put it on the bug wiki. So
awesome. Which is back. Everyone's, the majority of people said they want it back. It's back. Go fill it out.
Oh yeah,
I took
full advantage of it.
They're going to be dropping some more items for like armor and loot for Wookiees and Ithorians with Publish 28.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know why they're complaining so much, because they chose Wookiee and Ithorian knowing that they couldn't wear a lot of the stuff that everybody else could.
Yeah, I laugh whenever I see Wookiees should wear boots. Why can't we wear boots? Because you're a Wookiee.
Don't pick a Wookiee. Just flipping through real quick, seeing if there's anything else. It was basically just a big preview of 28. I think this is one of the more informative House of Commons chats that they've had in a while.
Yeah.
Probably since they really released all the information about Trials of Obi-Wan. Ever since then, it's kind of just been like a, glaze over some basic information. Quote was, the quote of the House of Commons chat was Lord Paul saying, smugglers will be more smugly.
Oh, God.
That's their long-term goal.
Well, of course there was a big cheer for that one, but still, he could have chose a better word.
They can be more smugly. But just went through and gave us all a preview of Publish 28.
Mm-hmm.
Hope I didn't miss anything. I'm sure if we did that, someone will let us know. Okay, next part. Now we're on to Thursday. All we really had was a hotfix preview. This was kind of a quiet day in the week. At this point of the week, I was more up. I wasn't up. After Publish 27 hit, after more of the information started coming out, I was up. In fact, Gyron left work early on Wednesday to get home so he could start playing on Publish 27 on live. And I have to admit, Thursday I played for about 2 hours, which I normally don't do during the week.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing they changed which the hotfix was for Friday, was lava cannon effects will no longer cause odd visual effects at location 00. What is it with location 00? That's like the Bermuda Triangle of the game.
Yes, that's weird.
If something messed up's going to happen, it's going to be at 00.
Kind of like when everyone's camps disappeared, they reappeared at 00.
Ah, the Tatooine. 00 Tatooine. That's the Galaxy Report for the next publish. What we're going to do when it goes to Test Center, we're all going to go to Test Center, and we're going to pick a planet, and each person is going to go to 00 of that planet. We're going to see what happens when you go to the 00.
Hey, I'm up for that.
They tweaked a couple more quests. Spaceship should no longer take decay when destroyed from E-pulse damage in player versus player combat. And there's some issues with free mouse look. That mode would cause was causing your cursor to be visible on the chat bar and cause your game menu to stop working. So, just a couple quick fixes there. They took care of those.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice to see them turn around and get that stuff out.
Yeah, I haven't noticed anything with that. I've been having trouble with my mouse cursor on the game anyways, but that's because I keep mine in Windows mode.
So you can see everything else that's going around. But you get stick if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
Actually, Norton is messed up. Whenever Star Wars puts a publish out, it goes totally nuts on me.
Oh, I told you, Norton sucks. Friday. Now I'm mad you mentioned Norton. Friday we have the return of item decay. And of course, this was basically Lord Paul. They said they decided to listen to everybody. And because people said, oh, you bring back item decay, they're going to bring back a sort of item decay. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be exactly the same as it was before. It's not going to be all items.
Mm-hmm. Which is good.
Well, I don't know. If you're going to bring it back totally. So
it was a little bit out of hand beforehand, though.
I say, if anything, just make it so you can repair it with repair kits.
Yes.
Make everything, and you can bring it back to 100% condition.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Yeah, don't bring back anti-decay kits. I hated those things from the beginning. But do the repair kit thing. I liked that.
Yeah.
It'll give garages a use again.
And just make it so they have to do it before it gets to 0 condition.
Even if it gets to 0 condition. Bring.
I thought about that. Yeah, why not? Just a complete repair too, not like before where it was cool when like you had the chance of like when you would repair it, it would like bring the condition down, maybe mess up the damage a little bit, but forget about all that. You want to make it simpler, just put it in, you repair it.
Exactly. Which is how NGE's going anyway. Simpler is better.
And make it so traders craft the item. Don't make it so people can just go to an NPC and fix everything.
Right.
Just traders, item, fix it. That's it. Of course, this did bring a lot of discussion on the forums, of course. People are throwing a fit about this.
Of course. They want their anti-decay kit back. If they're going to bring back decay, bring back my anti-decay kit so I don't have decay.
They should bring back anti-decay kits. Well, if they do bring back anti-decay kits, they should make them no trade.
No, don't bring them back at all. Not at all. No.
You know, what's the problem with a person having one item that doesn't decay? Everything else is going to.
Well, those one items should be like the no trade, like the items that can't be replaced, like the quest ones that you can't go on again. Well, stuff like that.
I have a feeling they're going to make those so they don't decay. Those are going to be the ones that don't decay.
Yeah.
Mandalorian armor probably won't decay.
Yeah. Stuff like that should replace like the anti-decay kit. Instead of giving them the anti-decay kit, give them no decay on certain items, like I just said.
That works wonderfully. And then what everyone was looking forward to and what should have come out originally on Monday as a producer letter is Rogue 5's publish plan. This basically just breaks down kind of what they have planned out from Publish 28 to Publish 34. Me as a spy, I'm lucky that I fall in Publish 34. But it was kind of nice that they did this, and this is really, I think, what people were expecting. You know, even if it didn't have all the information, if they would have come out with this on Monday, producer letter, Publish 28, just like armor enhancements, PvP enhancements, bounty hunter system, Publish 29, bounty hunter, space PvP, and if they would just broke it down, there wouldn't have been as much of an uproar.
Right. And honestly, there wasn't. Once they put the publish letter, I posted a reply on that. And between me starting the letter on page 6, by the time I got it posted, 2 sentences posted, it was on page 16.
Wow.
And they were like, well, maybe not 16, that might be the exaggeration, I haven't looked lately, but it was like 450 some odd posts later. And a lot of them were very positive. Actually, a majority of them were very positive, which I was actually surprised at, considering it is the forums. But they were saying thank you.
I was about to say something. It was like brilliant, and I forgot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had it. It was there. Oh, what I was going to say. I can understand them wanting to be hesitant in releasing this kind of information like they did for the publish plan. Because the second you have any of these items pushed back, people are going to throw a fit. People are going to go back. Do you remember the publish plan? Don't you remember the publish plan? Don't you remember what you said? They're going to link back to this.
Oh, yeah, they are. But at the same time, like I mentioned in my letter to Smeed, if you're going to make a change in this, just notify the community ahead of time that, okay, we have tried to do this, try to do it in a professional manner. They never did that before, which is why people jump on them when they do this, because they don't do it in a professional manner. They say, okay, we're pushing it back. No explanation or anything like that.
True, but even like when they said entertainers, they were going to try to get them in with publish 27.
27, yeah.
Well, originally they said they're going to try for publish 27. If that doesn't work, then they're going to get pushed back to 28. So then when they came back and said they were pushed back to 28, everyone, you had your people that were throwing fits over it.
Yeah.
I just hope people understand that there's stuff here that's going to get bumped.
Right.
But let's kind of go through it real quick. We went over Publish 28. Publish 29, bounty hunters are going to get their profession enhancements. Let's see. Here's where they're adding the limpet droids.
Yeah.
These are going to be bounty hunter droids can be attached to your target to apply all manner of detrimental effects. So that really doesn't hunt them down, though.
It sounds more like a tracking thing. Like, okay, Mr. Limpet goes, you set Mr. Limpet on this character that has a bounty, you can track him wherever he goes in the galaxy. That's what it sounds like. Even if he goes in space.
See, what it looks like to me is basically it's going to be something that you attach to them, and it's going to like lower their strength or their stamina. We'll have to see which one of us is right.
Yeah. And I do hope it's craftable.
Yeah, I hope it's not just a move. It's a little icon bar. Oh, look, it looks like a droid. It's a colorful droid. Bloop.
Yep.
And they're going to get all their moves are going to be examined and polished, so that'll be nice to see. The one thing I wanted to mention about Julio's letter, I originally wanted to say this back on Monday. I knew I wanted to say it in the show, and I knew I'd forget. So I'm glad I remembered. One of the things that kind of disturbed me about his letter was the talk of profession. You know what I'm thinking?
Yeah, I think I did.
Specialization.
Yes.
And how he made it sound like that's what they're going to do over the next few publishes, where to make it so the professions are different. So bounty hunter's different from like commando. And I think it's nice that they're going to go over each profession, but I think one of the big things that the players really want is some diversity within each profession.
Yeah, like what we used to have.
Right, so like one bounty hunter isn't like another bounty hunter, isn't like another bounty hunter.
Right.
And really, it was kind of limited before. I mean, you had your people who would do that, who was, okay, I'm a bounty hunter, I'm going to try this or I'm going to try that, but a lot you'd find your template, like okay, if I'm a bounty hunter, I have to be combat medic. If I'm going to be hunting Jedi, and that'll be Uber. So then everybody was like bounty hunter, combat medic, who was doing a certain thing. But I think people really want some the diversity within the professions. Yeah, that's what I wanted to cover.
Yeah, okay. maybe they'll have like specialization, like bounty hunters will have like like they said, specialization. Maybe like rifles for one, carbines for another, something like that, or unarmed combat for another.
Well, I thought that'd be good if they just did that, where certain professions have the option of using certain weapons. Say, like, spies could use pistols, carbines, or one-handed weapons.
Yeah.
And then as they use that one weapon, that would build up. So that weapon would have like a level. So the more you use it, the more effective you're going to be with it. So if you're level 90 and you have like 0 skill with a weapon, you're not just going to pick it up and be uber with it. And I think that would just add a little bit, in the short term, to just a little bit of diversity. So you could be like a one-handed master spy, and then you have your people who'd be like the pistol and the people that are carbines, and eventually people would like level them all up, but
right. And but that's going to be kind of hard because, like you said, you're going to have your Uber flavor of the month, which is what happened before. And trying to balance that out without making it all the same, but still interesting, is hard.
Yeah. I mean, that would just be something little until they could figure out like a bigger plan. Like if they gave us like skill trees within a profession where you could go up like certain areas. It would almost be like if you were a smuggler and like you could choose, say, like you had like slicing, spices, and something else, and you could choose one of those and level up in just one of those.
Yeah.
So then you would have your master smuggler who would also be, master slicing or, something just to mix it up a little bit. Back to Publish 29. Space PvP. The existing PvP declaration space stations will be flagged as attackable by opposing PvP enemy factions. These can be destroyed and respawn some period of time later. This will give players a chance to truly fight over and control Space Zone. Sounds like something they need to add to ground.
Yeah, because when they had the base combat, the base wars. I know on my server, that was a big hit. Everybody loved it.
Bases were kind of boring to destroy, though. Like when you would go in and like you had your bioengineer that was sitting there taking forever going through everything, and everyone's just kind of standing around, like something would spawn, 7 people attack that one spawn, or the couple. Yeah. They're when they bring bases back, they're going to need to expand it into something bigger.
Yes, like maybe battlefields. Maybe have it like an instance place. Well, maybe not instance, but you put down the base, you got yourself a battlefield. Like with the original.
That would be interesting. Like you find an area people could put down like a base on one side of their city, so, someone else could put it on the other side and they could like fight through the city or something and trying to take over like certain points. They'll have to play with that a bit.
Oh yeah.
They're going to enable player bounties in space.
That's going to be interesting.
See them flying around, and it certainly could give someone an advantage.
Yes.
Master pilot going after 1111. PvP decay. This is under investigation. They want feedback, so don't flip. Some items will decay on death in PvP. Eventually, this decay will cause the item to be non-functional. Traders will be able to make repair kits. They will also be able to offer replacements for sale. And I wonder how they're going to make the repair kits work. We talked about that, though.
Well, they used to have the repair kits. They just weren't as effective as they should have been.
Right. We'll have to see what they come back with for that.
Yeah.
Certain hard-to-get or unique items will be exempt from this system.
Yeah. Which is a smart thing to do.
And non-combat targeting, I think this is a big thing. We'll be doing a pass on non-combat targeting to allow easier movement of items in your house and other areas. Because right now it is a pain.
Yeah.
They should just bring back there's nothing wrong with the radio menu. It worked. It was fine.
It's still there.
Use it for non-combat. Non-combat radio menu pops up.
Yeah, you have to hit that little squiggly button.
Yeah, that's a pain though. I just want to pop out. I want to be there. Published 30 officers are going to get their pass. All new extensive officer-specific abilities. I guess they couldn't think of a really cool name to Officer-rific, something like that.
Officer-y?
Fire base. Create a small forward fire base with a respawn point to direct your attacks. Now that sounds pretty cool. I wonder if they can make it so people could actually spawn there. So if, say like when they get like the Galactic Civil War bases back in, which is, they're talking about in Published 30, and you're going to attack someone's base, like 500 meters away, your officer puts down one of these fire bases. Yeah. You guys go in and attack, and if you die, you can spawn back at that 500 meters away, and then go back in.
That would be interesting if they could do that.
Of course, you would think that they would have to make that attackable then. Or maybe not. I don't know. Muster the troops. Direct the attacks of AI troopers under your control. Reinforcement retreat. Call allies to you from across the world or pull your team back to safety. Don't know how that's going to work.
Especially across the galaxy.
I wonder, maybe you could put a call out like, hey, they could type something like attack on rebels in Theed or something, or attack on rebel base at these coordinates, and it goes across to like Imperial players, like combatant players of that, whatever faction. They'll get like a little message across the screen. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
All existing abilities are going to be examined and polished. They're going to improve the supply drops, the group buffs, enhance combat variety and proficiency. Here's a big thing, the new and improved Galactic Civil War bases. The all-new player-placed PvP bases. Brand new heavy weapon emplacements that all players can use to defend the bases. E-Web heavy repeating blaster, mortar emplacements, various man turrets, and more. Exciting new interior puzzles and obstacles to overcome. Why does that make me think you're going to get hung up on something? Something's not going to spawn right.
Yo! Just only if you're using a speeder.
All new base destruction dynamic with officer-specific activity sets. It'll be interesting to see what they come up with for these. I'm hoping this one doesn't get bumped back. You know, like that could. That's really what level 90s need. They need some sort of end game, and I think the Galactic Civil War is the end game.
It should be.
And really, when you get to that point, it almost has to be PvP.
Mm-hmm.
But more heavy weapons, players will be able to place and man new fixed heavy weapon emplacements, such as the E-Web.
Yeah.
Enhanced grenades and other items to use the heavy weapon targeting system. Again, that will be interesting to see what they come up with.
And of course, Skyrim would be pissed about that one because he only wants, Commando to have heavy weapons and nobody else?
Well, his main thing was he was pissed when he thought like everybody was going to have access to every heavy weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was kind of like Commando's thing. They should be the one really manning the heavy weapons.
Yeah. I
could see like things like turrets that they're talking about placing, or like static, guns that can be placed. But because really, how much would it piss you off to see a Jedi running around with a lava cannon, just blowing shit up?
They got their lightsaber. They don't need that.
Exactly. Published 31. This one we're going to keep our fingers crossed on because it's the Smuggler Profession Enhancements.
Yes.
I have a feeling that my spy enhancements might come first. The smugglers, they're going to get all new smuggler-specific abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Deceive, ability to appear non-PvP while being PvP enabled. That one seems kind of cool.
Yeah. Being
able to do that. Of course, I think that if you're PvP, you shouldn't show up on other people's radar. Like if you're overt or special forces, it just makes more sense than tracking the red dot.
Mm-hmm.
You have the spies, especially with the laying of traps, things like that. They should. Mm-hmm. You should be able to hide a little bit better. It's like playing something like Halo Online or, Call of Duty, and people have the maps on, and you can see, oh look, there's the sniper.
Yep.
He's the red dot. Rig, retrofit and overpower your starship while in flight. Stash, ability to open your bank from anywhere in the galaxy. I wonder if they mean like your safety deposit box, so you can throw stuff in there.
That's what it sounds like.
It'd be kind of a neat little feature. Couldn't see it being too terribly handy, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Their existing abilities are going to be examined and polished. A smuggler system, smugglers will be able to smuggle items and information between factional bases on the ground and in space. They're going to earn XP, faction, both sides, and credit for smuggling. Smugglers will be hunted by other players while smuggling. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. See how they're going to work that out. And smugglers will be able to sell the faction they earned to other players. Kind of bringing back something they had before.
Yeah.
I hope that works out for smugglers. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of pissed people.
No, they're not going to be pissed. They're just going to say, "Here we go again." There are going to be a lot of crying.
Yeah. Let's just hope that works out for them. Published 22, Commando Profession Enhancements. The Commando specific abilities are going to be tweaked. New combat abilities that are going to be used with heavy weapons. Enhanced demolition abilities, including destruction of factional bases. New Commando exclusive heavy weapons. And other abilities are going to be examined and polished. Item differentiation system. Customize your profession abilities based on specific item attributes. Example, power up your Force Lightning by using Force Focus Amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's going to be kind of cool.
Yeah.
If you're going to get stuff like that. Mix and match these items to specialize your character and make it different from other members of your profession.
Yeah, but is that going to be... It'll be interesting how they do it. If it's going to be like with the loot system, is it just going to be limited time, or is it going to be a permanent thing?
Yeah, I'll have to see how they work that out.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is like wait and see. The Trader Profession Enhancements. All new ground reverse engineering systems.
Yeah.
I like this idea.
I do too, because when I was shipwright, I always reverse engineered a lot of the loot that you got in space, and it was really interesting.
I think this is one thing that could actually save Trader.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the item decay coming back, just being able, you get that ugly ass piece of armor that you loot off a creature.
Mm-hmm.
And losing my voice. And just being able to take it to someone, remove that skill, like whether it's a skill tape or that bonus, and put that into something that you want.
Well, I hope they don't do what they did with reverse engineering in space, is that if you have a level 7 item for the tech level, you needed 7 of those items to reverse engineer it.
Really?
Yes. I hope they don't do that with the ground. Because that would definitely piss off a lot of people.
Well, I think they should just make it where if you're a certain, say like you're a master tailor, and you're you can only reverse engineer clothes. Mm-hmm. And when you reverse engineer it, you have the chance of getting that item, like whether it's a skill tape. Say it's plus 20 to Constitution. You have a chance of getting a plus 20 to Constitution, but you also have the chance of it being reduced.
Right.
You know, so when you reverse engineer, okay, you mess up a little bit, you get like a plus 18 or a plus 16, something like that.
Yeah.
1 second. Okay. Here we go. So, we'll just have to wait and see what they do.
A lot of people are not going to have any fingernails left after some of these publishers because they're going to be chewing them off, waiting.
Publish 33, the Medic are going to get their enhancements. They don't have much detail on that, but just have to. I wonder what they're going to give them.
I don't know. Hopefully something with Med Center. Make Med Center something popular again.
It would be cool if they had something to, like, instead of their gas cloud, if they had, like, canisters to throw.
Yeah.
Kind of bring back some of the old combat medic moves.
Yeah.
Then, power-up ability system, new power-up ability system for all professions. Power-ups are basically a way the players will gain points through everyday activities. You'll be able to spend the points towards activating brand new types of special abilities. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they do it. It's just, like those fighting games, you get enough letters, you can do a power punch.
That'd be sweet. Like 5 combo moves, and it's like, flaming pistol whip. It could be like a cool animation where the background kind of like all blurs and like your guy like moves in and it's slow motion around them. Or
well, they do got Matrix Online now.
Oh,
so.
don't even talk about Matrix. And published 34, the spy profession enhancements, and they really don't give any details.
Oh, of course not.
Of course, that's about 6 to 8 months from now, so.
Yeah.
We'll let them get there eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Try one more time. Get into the chat.
Yeah,
overall,
Solin's gone.
Well, the chat's down. I don't know how you're still in it.
Everybody else is in it.
Really? Are they?
Yeah,
they're talking?
Yeah, everybody's talking.
See, I can't get in there. I can't get in there. Solon can't get in there.
It's mass chaos.
No. Great. Okay, but that was the week in SWG. And I think we even glossed over some of it. I mean, especially, you know, with you, you really had no time to play and you had no idea what was going on, so.
Yeah.
But it was a roller coaster, you know, low on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, I would say probably the same thing. Wednesday, published 27, you know, House of Commons chat got up, you know, Thursday, Friday, you know, even more. I don't know. SWG is a love-hate thing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Like, you have to be slightly You have to be the type of person that likes to hurt themselves a bit to play this game.
Well, it's like I tell my friends. To play SWG and to enjoy it, you have to be a fanatic. No ifs, ands, or but about it.
And I think it's going to be quite a while before they can pull in, like, the casual gamer.
Oh, yeah, even with the NEG, they still need a lot of work.
All right, well, I think we covered everything. I'm going to go about wrapping the show up.
Okay.
We're at an hour and a half now. So, we have our website, thegalaxyreport.com. Head over there. We have the bug wiki up. You guys wanted it. I brought it back. So, please get on there, fill it out, get some information going. I encourage everybody to check out the polls on the official site. Make sure you get your voice heard. Don't let a bunch of bitter vets who don't play the game anymore decide what goes in the game for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions, you can email us at thegalaxyreport@yahoo.com. I try to get back to everything that people send me. Doesn't always happen, but, I do what I can. More than likely, you're going to get a response if you post something on our forums. Head over there. We chit-chat throughout the week while we're supposed to be working, I think. But it's a good diversion. Mm-hmm. We have our donations. We have $2 a month, or our one-time, whatever you see fit, donating to us. This stuff isn't free. We have to pay monthly to keep this thing streaming. I think we're going to have to fork over some money to get some Red Bull or something for Gyron. Maybe he'll show back up next week. And I think we're making the switch. We're going to be on Saturday nights now. So I think that makes it easier for a lot of people. Seems like quite a few people. For me. Yeah, it seems like quite a few people had to work on Saturday and had some issues making it. So we're doing that. I want to let you guys know I do have some interviews in the work. We have some fans. We're getting some of the people who run some fan sites. They're going to be on here. We are looking at Galactic Senators, trading specific Galactic Senators. So we're trying to cover all the bases.
Yeah.
So those are definitely in the works, and they will be coming soon. And, God, did I get everything?
I think so, yeah.
That's the part I hate, because I always forget something. All right, Dukas, well, I want to thank you for taking the time and being here as a last-second fill-in host. You did a great job.
Not a problem, man. Glad I can help.
I want to thank Solon for, normally he mods the chat room, but he couldn't tonight because that went down. But he had the TeamSpeak up and running for us. We were going to take calls. Hopefully everything will be back to normal next week. That's what I'm praying for. So everybody enjoy Publish 27.